breathe in. Now I took what I want, but you find that everything I've got, you step forwards to my shadow. You are follow in my pattern.
Raacke?
Raacke.
Hello and welcome to the Ladies' Room. Today it's my great pleasure to have with me Gordian Raacke, who is on the East Hampton Commission for Sustainable Energy, and you are you're the moving force toward getting us in East Hampton our own grid. Are we going to get our own grid?
Well, not our own grid, but 100% renewable energy.
100% renewable energy. And you serve on a lot of government and energy commissions all over, and I saw an interview with you in Germany at some big seminar on energy. How's it going? Where are we with all of this? They keep telling us, oh, it's, if we start it now, we're not going to get it for 15 years. And they've been saying that for like 45 years. So if they started 45 years ago, 30 years ago, we would have had solar power, right? So why do they keep putting it in the future like that?
Well, it's the good news is I've been at this for over 20 years now. Mm-hmm. I started in this position in 1993 here in East Hampton, actually, and on Long Island. And since then, we've made a lot of progress. To give you just one example, island-wide on Long Island, in 2000, I think it was 2000 or 2001, there were 2 solar arrays on 2 homes. Just recently, we surpassed 20,000 solar roofs. Yay. So it's definitely going up, and it's going in the right direction. We've got a lot more to do, but we're making good progress.
What happens with people that live in like Northwest Woods where it's like trees all around? Can they do solar on their roofs?
Well, I live in Northwest Woods, and I do have solar. The panels do need sunshine for most of the day, and if you can't cut down the trees that are shading your roof, you cannot put solar on it. You need a good amount of sunshine to make it work.
Now, what's East Hampton's stand on that? If they're just like, I love all trees, of course. I love just scrub oaks, but if they're just scrub oaks, can you knock them down if you like plant some other?
You need to check. You need to check with the Natural Resources Department. Yeah. In some cases, you cannot do it. In some cases, you can, or you can, in a limited fashion, you can do that. But check with the Natural Resources Department. They know what the rules are exactly. It depends on where you are. But also Judy, there is a new and very exciting program coming. It's not yet in effect. We hope to have it in effect in 2016, which is a minute away. Which is just around the corner. And it's basically the idea of a solar cooperative. So if you can't put solar panels on your roof, maybe because you have shade or maybe because you don't own the home, maybe you're renting, you can buy a share in a solar co-op in what's called shared renewables, and it can be situated anywhere. It doesn't even have to be in East Hampton. It could be anywhere else. And you get the output from your share of panels credited against your electric meter, just as if they were on your roof.
And so how does that work out economically for you?
It means that you could have an electric bill like mine, which is essentially zero, where you have no bill for electricity.
So you do a share?
No, my wife and I, we have solar panels on our property, and they generate more than 100% of our electricity usage, so we don't pay anything for electricity.
It's so complicated.
It's very simple.
And I saw somewhere on your website, which is an incredible website, there's so much information, I really enjoyed reading it, that, and actually somewhere it directed me to a Facebook page of this woman that said she would do all the paperwork and everything to get you zero out-of-pocket solar on your roof.
Well, okay, so you can own your solar electric system, or you can lease it, just like a car. if you want to own your solar array and you don't have the upfront cash, you can get, in fact, now you can get a very low interest state loan, a very attractive loan product. You don't have to put any money down, and the beauty is the way it's structured is you pay it back on your utility bill. Okay. So your savings, so let's say your electric bill goes down $100 a month. Right. You'll be paying, let's say, $80 a month in interest and principal to pay the loan off. And better yet, if you're selling your house or you're renting the house out because you move somewhere else, it automatically transfers to the new owner. So that's the best way to do it, I think. Cool. Yeah. You can lease, but if you lease panels, of course, you're not getting 100% of the financial benefits of your panels.
What is the upkeep if you put solar panels on your roof? Do you have to get a new roof usually?
Your roof should be in good shape. If it's a really old roof that needs to be replaced anyhow, you better replace it first. And do they finance any part of that, or that's just on you? No, that would be, well, you could get a home equity loan or something like that, but that's a different contractor. Yeah. And does it ever happen where they're screwing the panels into your roof that then it causes leaks in your roof? Well, that shouldn't happen with anything. I mean, anything you do on a roof, putting a vent in or anything like that, or a skylight, has to be done right, including solar panels. But with a reputable contractor and a company that's done hundreds and hundreds of these systems, you are pretty sure that you're going to get a job that's not leaking. And if it is leaking, you have to better have a warranty and make sure that they pay for fixing it and not you. Okay. And so why does all of this energy dialogue matter so much to our planet? Well, look, Judy, if we just imagine if we didn't have electricity and we didn't have gasoline we couldn't live the way we live today, right? I mean, at one point people lived with renewable energy. In fact, East Hampton, as you know, has a windmill in its town seal, which is a symbol, I think a great symbol of renewable energy. But with the way things are today, we're using primarily fossil fuels. We're digging this stuff out of the ground, oil or coal or natural gas through fracking, and then we burn that stuff. And into the atmosphere. And it goes into the atmosphere, causing climate change and environmental pollution, air, respiratory diseases, and things like that. So the way we use energy today is very risky business. We're risking our health. We're also sending a lot of our money, our hard-earned money, out of the region, out of the country in many cases, to buy energy. Whereas we have sunshine delivered to our rooftops and wind delivered to our beaches and offshore free. All the time and all free. Right? So we need to change that system because it's a very dangerous system and it can also easily break down. Well, how is the town of East Hampton handling all these issues? Are they very aggressively moving forward on it, or are they dragging their feet? You know, the town of East Hampton and the town board here has really done an admirable job. They've realized that the town needs to be proactive when it comes to planning our energy future. We can't leave this up to LIPA or PSEG or National Grid. If we want the right energy supply, we need to do that here. And so the town board has taken a very proactive role, has adopted a formal resolution to set a goal of meeting 100%, not just of the town buildings, of town facilities energy consumption, but community-wide. All of our electricity and later total energy consumption should be coming 100% from renewables very soon. That's a very aggressive, but also a very doable goal. And so I have to commend our town council members here, our supervisor, and the 4 council members for doing a great job there. So it's really refreshing. It makes me proud to live in this town because this is what the rest of the world needs to do. Every town on Long Island needs to do, and East Hampton is at the forefront of that. How did you get from Germany to East Hampton? I didn't paddle. I should have sailed over. I came over here in a plane. I got my engineering degree over there many years ago. I came over here in the 80s, and First lived in New York City, actually. Came out in the, when did I come out? In the mid-'80s here. And fell in love with this place and decided to make it my home.
And how did you get involved with sustainability and renewable energy and meet Al Gore?
You know, when the Exxon Valdez disaster happened, I was really mad, and I pointed fingers at. I said, well, how can that happen? How can they spill an oil tanker worth of oil into this pristine natural environment?
They've done it more often than we know.
Right, and a friend of mine said to me, you know, Gordian, you ordered that. That oil in that tanker was on the way to your oil tank or on the way to your gas tank. So we all bear responsibility. And it really woke me up. And I decided I wanted to get involved in that field. And I decided that I need to do my part to help change that equation.
That's so great.
And I've done that for more than 20 years now.
And so how did you get to Al Gore?
Well, Al Gore and the Climate Reality Project decided to train people to give Al Gore's presentation and to be in direct contact with the top climate scientists in the world. And so they organized these trainings where Al Gore and a number of scientists trained people for 3 days, very intensively, to give that presentation and to be involved in their communities and other places to educate people on climate change and, more importantly, to show solutions as to what we can do to not have climate change destroy the life as we know it on the planet.
Yeah, I can't understand how anyone who saw an inconvenient truth can deny climate change. They don't like calling it global warming, but certainly climate change. And they seem to think it's just like everything's getting warmer, but what it is it's extreme weather.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, we're already seeing the impacts now, and you know, by the 2020s, sea level rise alone in Montauk could be as much as 10 more inches. And that's scary stuff, because that's not even talking about storm surges we get in storms. That's just the sea level rising by this much, up to 10 inches by 2020, and then of course it could be many feet later in the century. So we have to do something about this, and we have to do it very quickly. We have just a decade or two to change the way we're supplying energy. Yeah. And that's what we're doing here in East Hampton.
The town of Southampton is 10 feet below sea level, the town. And during a hurricane, it must have been like 20 years ago, I had a dentist appointment in Southampton, and the water in town, Saks Fifth Avenue used to be on that corner, the water was up to the top step of the front of Saks Fifth Avenue. It was really scary, and it's amazing how short people's memories are, that they don't remember things like that. Yeah. And they just keep throwing their plastic, you know, buying plastic everywhere, and all kinds of things that are bad for the environment.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, the good news, again, is it's not gloom and doom. It's we have the solutions. And in fact, replacing conventional fossil fuels with renewable energy technologies means we can retool our economy. We can keep more of our energy dollars here in the local economy. Look, I mean, I'd much rather employ a local contractor to install my solar panels than taking that money and sending it to LIPA and PSEG, and they send it to wherever the fuel came from, right? We can use these jobs right here in the local economy and community. So, and it solves a lot of other problems. And, you know, every morning when I get up, I also have solar hot water on my home, right? And I take my shower. I go like, why would anybody, and I used to do this myself, right? It now runs on solar, on just one solar panel that makes hot water. Why would I want to buy propane or oil to heat that water when the sun shines every day and heats my shower water? It's so simple.
So what would it look like in East Hampton? Would we, because we have so many fields that are Peconic Land Trust land, and we have a lot of open land.
Yeah.
Can we do a big solar field?
Well, so the first thing we need to do is make sure, and we're actually looking at doing an inventory of all the roofs in East Hampton Township that would be suitable for solar, that aren't shaded and all of that. Once we know how many of those we have, each and every one of these homes should be putting up solar panels and saving money on their electric bills as a result. Then we need to look at all the homes, all the buildings really, businesses and other buildings and individual homes, because most of our buildings are extremely energy wasteful.
Oh, yeah.
They're leaky, they don't have a
yeah.
lot of insulation in the walls, and we need to change that. I mean, the average home on Long Island has so much leakage that it would be the equivalent of having a 4-by-4 foot hole in the wall.
Really?
And imagine you're trying to heat the place in the winter or cool it in the summer when you have a big window there without any glass in it.
All these little tiny drafts.
All these little things around the windows and doors and in the basement.
Like when my daughter closes the window, but she doesn't like clamp it
Yep,
down, and
there
I
you go,
say,
right?
you know, you got to clamp it down because that makes a seal. And she's like, oh, Mom, it's closed.
Yeah. No,
But
it
all
all
these
adds
things
up.
matter.
And you spend hundreds of dollars just heating the great outdoors in the winter if your home is not top-notch
And
energy efficient.
does cold, is it attracted to heat? It seems like when pipes burst in the winter, it's the hot water pipe that goes. Does
I
that
don't know
make any
about that, but
sense? It
there-
seems like it attracts the cold. Like if you're heating your house and you have it open, the window open this much, does the heat go
Well-
out or does the cold come in?
Well, both. What happens is, you know, heat rises. So when you have cracks in the basement perimeter or windows that are just open a crack, warm air will escape in the attic, through the attic, you know, the upper part of the building, and cold air will flow back into the building, into the home, right? And so you have to do both. You have to seal and insulate the attic and make sure that's all airtight, and you have to make sure fresh, cold air can't come in around the lower part of the home.
So should everyone because the roof has to breathe, so should everybody lay more insulation in their rafters? And
Yeah.
if they miss one, is that one going to suck out all the...
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's like even a keyhole in a door will you know, mean you're losing a lot of money. So, but this is great stuff now because we have amazing building science tools. They have what's called a blower door test. They will actually, if you do a home energy audit, the contractor will come in.
How much does it cost to do a home energy
It's free.
audit?
You can get it
It's
under a
free?
state program if you make less than.
What is the name of the program?
It's called the Home Energy
It's on your
Assessment.
website.
You can find it on our website, renewableenergylongisland.org.
Energy.
And if you make less than $250,000 a year, it is free. So
And, but
a lot of people.
then
get
you
it for
think,
free.
they're going to come and then they're going to tell me I have to do this and I have to do that. So in the end, you're going to have to spend all this money
You'll have to spend
fixing
money,
all these things.
but you will save much more money than you're spending. If you don't do
Really?
this, you are wasting a lot of money, not just energy. And you also are getting a much more comfortable home. You're going to get rid of all these drafts that you can feel in the winter where you know. So it's a good thing to do and very simple. And you can finance the investment, again, under a state loan where you need no money
And
down.
how do you find, are they very complicated and a lot of paperwork to fill out these state
No,
loans?
it's actually the contractors will help you do the
Okay.
paperwork. It's pretty simple.
And I heard that PSEG did have a lot of great rebates, but they're getting less and less as time goes on.
That's right.
So people should do it now.
Do it now, especially if you're thinking to go solar. That's one case. The tax credits, the federal tax credit, 30% of the cost goes away by the end of 2016 unless Congress renews that. So you get 30%, let's say a $10,000 solar system, you get $3,000 from the federal government until December 31st,
Of
2016.
2016.
So it takes a while to get these things installed and get estimates and so forth, so do it now.
And you can get it installed, but this one thing said that you could get it. Oh, so when it says no money out of pocket, it's talking about getting the loan and paying it off.
Yeah, if you have money sitting in a savings account, you're better off investing it in a solar in a solar electric system
Yeah.
directly. If you don't have the cash to do that, you can get a loan from the state, which
And what, at 3% or
it's
something like that?
I want to say 3.85%.
Yeah, so it's really
Good,
low.
yeah. And again, you're at the first month after they turn the system on, you're already saving money every month, because the savings are greater than the interest and principal that you pay on the loan. So you can't lose.
Very cool. Do you know what our electric bill was this month?
No.
It's going to blow your mind. $624 for 1 month.
Wow.
But
that's
we're
too much.
having renovations done, and a lot of power tools are
Okay,
being used, and
all right, okay,
fans to
yeah.
dry the spackle. But I was like, what? I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, my electric bill is $0 for electricity. I paid the $10 just to have the meter connection.
Yeah.
But it works. This
I'm
stuff
going to
really
go
works.
for it. I'm going to go for it. Are other communities all getting involved in this?
Yeah, I mean, East Hampton's really taking the lead on the 100% thing, but
Good.
there are other communities. East Hampton also is a climate smart community. That's a New York State program. And it's a lot more than just energy. So this community, East Hampton, I'm proud to say, is also on the forefront of planning for climate change impacts like higher sea levels, protecting our wetlands. You know, there are a lot of other issues that are not directly energy related, but East Hampton is a climate smart communities, and I was just at a town meeting here. We're talking about a lot of things that
It's like the
town will be
Dodd-Frank
doing.
Act.
Right?
Is it 7,000 pages?
Not
Can
quite,
I just scan through it right now?
But it's good to know that this town and this town board really gets it and is very proactive on providing solutions. And it will take everyone in town to chip in and make this happen. We need help from every resident and every business in town to make this happen.
I read somewhere that I think it was a woman, invented these solar panels that you could like maybe lie on top of your pool, and they fold up and you can stick them under your bed.
Well, those are that's a pool blanket that will insulate your heated pool, keep the water warm,
Well,
you know,
I have
when
a
you're
pool,
not
that
using
solar
it.
blanket, that's
Is
just
that
like
different?
bubble wrap. No,
Okay.
these are solar panels. These are black
I have not
solar
seen these. Okay.
panels,
Yeah.
and you can like lay them on your back porch or something, and when you want to store them, fold them and stick them under your bed.
Okay, I don't know those. I mean, there's solar pool heating systems
Yeah.
that are mounted to heat the water,
Yeah,
which is a great
again,
system.
we got all this shade, we got all these trees. Now, do solar, if you're in a lot of trees, in the winter, even though the days are shorter, do you get more sun on your solar panels? Because there's
You
no
get more
leaves on
sun in the
trees?
summer, but yeah, if you have oak trees, the leaves come off, of course, in the winter.
So does it balance out? You get
No, you still get more in the summer.
Still
Yeah,
get
because
more
the
in
sun
the
is
days
higher
and
and more intense.
hotter and-
Yeah.
yeah.
But if you don't have room for solar and you can't put solar panels on your roof, as
Do a
of hopefully 2016, first quarter, we will have a shared renewables program. And the beauty about this, Judy, is also that you're doing a larger installation then, because you're sharing it with your
Yeah.
neighbors or friends. And that means it's cheaper per unit of energy, because you're doing a bigger job.
Gosh, that's great, because
So-
2016 is like just a couple months away.
There's also for people in Southampton. Southampton is running a Solarized program, which is a bulk purchase program for people who want to go solar. And that should also bring the price down over there. So that's available through October 16th.
Do you think once we all buy into this and get it all organized and we're all so happy it's done, that somehow the government or the utility companies are going to come in the back door and say, okay, do it now, you have to pay? Is
Well,
that
they're
possible?
either
I mean,
don't-
because it always
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
like
I think
somehow in the end it doesn't work. You know, we're all so idealistic.
Yeah.
And then we get disappointed in the end.
Well, I can tell you this, the utility companies or energy companies who are willing and able to adapt to a 21st century model of energy will be the winners. The ones that don't will be the losers. I mean, that has happened in many other industries, whether you look at IBM, where they had mainframe computers and said, it's ridiculous to have a laptop or a desktop computer, and now we're walking around with computers in our back pocket. Or the communication industry that didn't want to see the telephone infrastructure change.
They will resist change.
So they will resist as long as they can.
Until they
And then-
own the new thing.
Yeah.
Once they sell all the stuff they already have,
Yeah.
they're ready to embrace the new thing. But then they're figuring out how they can make the money.
I mean, look, you know, renewable energy doesn't just mean small distributed energy sources. We're also talking about offshore wind turbines, for example.
How's the wind farm going off
So there's a
Montauk?
proposal,
Is that going to happen?
a new proposal now for another offshore wind farm. The last one was turned down by LIPA. They didn't want it.
Yeah.
We're hoping that this one will get accepted.
How can they say they don't want it when we all want it?
When we want it, yeah.
How can they tell us no?
That's why we
It's
have
our
to. We have to
town.
be involved. We have to say what we want and not let them do what they want. So there's a new proposal 30 miles east of Montauk Point. Actually, this is
Now, would a
exciting.
hurricane just rip that up out
No,
of the
it
ocean?
wouldn't. They would shut down during the hurricane. They're built for hurricane strength
They are.
winds. You know, in Europe, they have thousands of these running for
I've seen
20
the
years
huge
now. Yeah.
fields, yeah.
So they're
it's
very-
so far ahead of us.
They're
yeah.
very, proven technology. Right now, there are 5 turbines, offshore wind turbines, being installed just southeast of Block Island.
Okay.
Those are the first U.S.
Those
wind
will be
turbines.
for Rhode Island, not for us.
That'll be for Block Island, yeah.
Oh, for just
Yeah,
for
for Block Island. Well, actually, and also connected to the mainland there. But that technology will have just
We'll
off our
just learn
doorstep
from
here.
what they did, and each
Right,
one will
right.
become easier and
Yeah,
easier.
yeah, exactly.
Well, this is so exciting and such good news for the future, and you're doing such good work.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Renewable Energy Long Island.
Yep.
People should definitely look at your website, read everything, and let's all jump on this this share program. Sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm going to check our roof and see if we can take down some oak trees and get that done.
Yeah, and get involved. If you want to change the way we use energy, you have to make it happen. It's
All
not
right.
just the elected officials.
Ladies,
It's everyone.
Get
Ladies
involved.
especially.
give yourself room to get involved with Long Island Renewable Energy. And thank you for watching our show. Give yourself lots of room for love, room for fun, room to grow, and room to glow. And we'll glow more with solar energy. It's healthier. Very, very good.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Breathe in. Now I took what I want, but you find that everything they've got. You step forwards to my shadow.